I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I think that manifests in growth broadly speaking. We forget what growth feels like, and it becomes a little more difficult for us.
I think you're right. I think we forget what it feels like. And I think sometimes growth scares us.
Hmm.
I think it frightens us sometimes because that next step, again, we're comfortable sometimes where we are. We're hoarding those things that keep us comfortable. And that growth into the next phase of a situation or in the next phase of a life can be scary. And so yeah, I don't want to think about that because I'm comfortable right now. I like what's happening right now. That growth feels very uncomfortable. And never mind the fact that I've already had this feeling that I'm behind, but have this internal struggle with the growth because I'm afraid to go to the next level.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I guess I really want to dig into how do we get stuck in this trap? Where does this feeling of thinking that we're behind come from? What are the things that are contributing to this feeling for us? We could be making progress, but what is it that's making us feel like we're behind?
I really think a lot of it has to do with comparisons. We compare ourselves to other people and their situations. And, especially if, I went to a 4-year college, you went to a 4-year college, and, I'm still working for, little to no money and no advancement. And then here you are. I mean, you've already gotten 3 or 4 promotions in your work and so forth. And so I think those kinds of things impact our thought process for where we are and that comparison that we are behind. And I think that if we can just take an inventory of our life and appreciate some of the positive things that we have already accomplished, that we can see that, you know what? Maybe I'm not as behind as I think. Sure, I haven't had the promotions that Frankie has had. However, I have, A, B, and C that I can truly be proud of. And so I think that that's part of it. I also think that sometimes what we do is we look at our situation and we just try to compare apples to apples, and it's not always that way. Just the pathways that people take in their life, those opportunities or those pathways weren't there for us, or we chose differently, or any number of things. And so I think being comfortable or trying to be comfortable in your own skin, in your own atmosphere, if you will, is going to be helpful because I can't compare myself to um I mean, pick any athlete like, Shaq. I mean, first of all, Shaq got me by probably 3 feet.
You're not quite that short, Nuge.
But I'm just saying, so you got to keep things in context when you're looking at where you are in your current state.